But the humiliation ritual Donald Trump experienced this morning is his worst nightmare.
So MeidasTouch just exposed how Trump's administration lied about Iran negotiations while he's literally conducting a war. They called out the fake Pakistan meetings before mainstream media caught on, and now we're seeing the diplomatic wreckage. This is exactly why independent journalism matters during wartime.
First, in Iran, Iran's foreign minister Araghchi left Pakistan as he said he would without having any meetings at all with Steve Witkoff or Jared Kushner. The foreign minister of Iran previously made it clear, we are not going to Pakistan to meet or negotiate with the United States.
This comedy band speaks volumes about Trump's mental state during active military operations. When you're so fragile that jokes feel threatening while conducting a war, that's not leadership. That's psychological vulnerability that Iran and other adversaries are definitely monitoring.
And despite the Trump regime promising everybody that there were negotiations that were going to be taking place in Pakistan on Friday, as we said, that was all part of market manipulation Friday. Araghchi left Pakistan, left the Trump regime humiliated, and now Donald Trump is saying the following. I've told my people a little while ago they were getting ready to go to Pakistan, and I said, nope, you're not making an 18-hour flight to go there. We have all the cards.
The prediction accuracy here is stunning. While CNN and Fox were parroting administration talking points about Pakistan meetings, independent outlets actually verified Iranian positions. This is the difference between stenography and journalism during wartime. Accuracy matters when lives are at stake.
They can call us anytime they want, but you're not going to be making any more 18-hour flights to sit around talking about nothing. Donald Trump now frantically calling the media to make excuses why Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are not going to Pakistan to meet with their counterparts from Iran after they promised negotiations were going to take place. We at the MeidasTouch Network were saying, don't believe all of the propaganda coming out from the media. It's all a lie. Araghchi says there's no meeting taking place. We were correct, and Donald Trump now has been utterly humiliated.
This is why independent media matters. While mainstream outlets parroted White House talking points about upcoming negotiations, they correctly called it propaganda from day one. When legacy media falls for administration spin, outlets like this become essential for actual accountability journalism.
This past week, Donald Trump threatened that he was going to ban Spain from NATO and he was going to take the Falkland Islands from the UK and give it to Argentina. Now, the Falklands government is saying, hey, Trump, you're a bully. Back the hell off. Also, the United Kingdom is saying, we should probably just reclaim America if you're going to start attacking land that is part of our kind of sovereign sphere of influence.
Historic moment here. When was the last time Britain openly threatened to reclaim America over a president's actions? Even during our worst diplomatic periods, allies didn't mock us this publicly. Trump has managed to turn our closest partners into open critics in just weeks.
As you probably know, for 1982, there was the Falkland Island War that was fought between the UK and Argentina after Argentina's dictatorship invaded the Falkland Islands. The Falkland Islands, as recently as 2013, voted to stay with the United Kingdom when there was a national referendum there. Donald Trump and Javier Milei, Donald Trump's little puppet in Argentina, said, okay, we're going to give the Falkland Islands to Argentina.
The 1982 war cost over 900 lives, and 99.8% of Falkland Islanders voted to remain British in 2013. Trump casually suggesting we'll just hand over sovereign territory to appease Argentina's president shows complete ignorance of international law and our allies' core interests.
The Australian flag. Yes, folks, the Trump regime does not know the difference between the flag of the United Kingdom and the Australian flag. I get it could be a little confusing for people like Donald Trump who don't understand that you can't reduce prescription drug prices by 600%.
Protocol matters enormously in diplomacy. Every flag choice, every seating arrangement sends signals. Confusing Britain's flag with Australia's while threatening to seize British territory isn't just embarrassing, it signals dangerous incompetence to every world leader watching these failures unfold.
As we previously reported aboard the Gerald Ford, Abraham Lincoln, USS Tripoli, our Navy members were basically being starved on these ships. It's no different than the way Donald Trump treats contractors and employees. Donald Trump believes our military are a bunch of suckers and losers. That's what Donald Trump refers to them as. And so we reported previously about the food that they were being served, and the Trump regime was like, no, that's not the food. We're giving them gourmet meals, and it's incredible the food that they're getting. Well,
remember Trump called fallen soldiers suckers and losers, according to multiple sources, including his own chief of staff, John Kelly? Now troops are literally going hungry while he projects strength abroad. You can't treat your own military like garbage, then expect them to execute your threats effectively.
New photos have emerged from Newsweek from the USS Abraham Lincoln just this morning, showing service members receiving minimal food portions as reports grow that some troops have lost significant weight and aren't receiving their care packages while the Pentagon denies any shortages. So what's Donald Trump doing to try to flex and act like a tough guy with all of these humiliation rituals?
Newsweek's photos are damning evidence. Actual service members with visibly inadequate food portions, while Pentagon officials deny any problems. This administration's reflexive lying about easily verifiable facts destroys credibility when it comes to bigger claims about foreign policy successes.
And sadly, even the Wall Street Journal editor-at-large said that it's a sad fact that in this war, in this conflict, the Iranians are giving more truthful information than the Trump regime is giving. That's not to say Iran's giving straight up facts all of the time. They're involved in war propaganda. We get it. But more frequently, when it comes to the negotiations themselves and when they're taking place, it seems that Iran has been actually far more accurate than the Trump regime.
When the Wall Street Journal admits Iran provides more accurate information than the American president, that's a catastrophic blow to our soft power. Countries make decisions based on who they can trust. If even our own financial press trusts Tehran over Trump, what does that tell our allies?
As I've said before, every word, every syllable, every sound out of Donald Trump's mouth, even the ums and the ahs and the snoring when he sleeps in public during press conferences, is a complete and utter lie. It's a farce. So what's Donald Trump doing this morning, you ask, in addition to panicking and getting humiliated?
This gets to the core problem. Trump's complete unreliability makes real diplomacy impossible. Foreign leaders can't negotiate with someone whose word means nothing. Every lie, every broken promise, every contradiction makes America weaker on the world stage.
Barack Hussein Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. So he posts this image right here of the reflecting pool in front of the Lincoln Memorial. And he's showing the reflecting pool that I guess looks like it has, that looks a little dirty. And he says, Hussein Obama, that's his reflecting pool. And then Donald Trump shows what he wants the reflecting pool to look like, because Trump's priority is the reflecting pool now, apparently, after the ballroom was blocked and he's doing triumphal arches and all of this crap. But that's what he's posting this morning.
The racist Hussein dog whistle, while obsessing over reflecting pools, shows Trump's priorities. Iran just humiliated his administration publicly, Allies are threatening retaliation, troops are going hungry, and he's posting about pool maintenance. This is leadership in complete meltdown mode.
The Justice Department is announcing that it will readopt the firing squad. Oh, you're so tough, Donald. The firing squad.
Bringing back firing squads after getting diplomatically embarrassed is textbook authoritarian compensation. When you can't project strength internationally, you turn to domestic brutality instead. It's exactly what weak leaders do when their bluffs get called on the world stage.
Unless and until the naval blockade from the United States ends in the Persian Gulf and the United States agrees to the 10-point framework with Iran that the U.S. previously agreed to, and unless and until Donald Trump stops his social media lunatic ranting and raving and behaves like a normal freaking human being, could we have as a bare minimum threshold that Donald Trump behave like adult, like a grown-up human being, and he can actually do an adult negotiation? Let's start with that threshold with Iran. Iran's like, we don't want to negotiate with you because the moment we show up in a damn room with you, you lie about the meetings and you make it really weird and gross.
Iran's conditions are actually reasonable. End the naval blockade, honor previous agreements, and behave professionally. But Trump can't meet even the basic threshold of acting like an adult in negotiations. His social media tantrums make serious diplomacy impossible.
That tells you everything about how weak Donald Trump has made the United States right now. It is a sad sight, but here was Caroline Leavitt doing what Caroline Leavitt does, a lion.
This is what American decline looks like in real time. We went from being the indispensable nation to having our envoys publicly snubbed by regional powers. When Iran can humiliate us without consequence, every adversary takes note.
So can you confirm that Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff are headed to Islamabad to meet with the foreign minister, Araghchi?
Well, thank you, John, for having me. It's great to be with you as always. And yes, I can confirm Special Envoy Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be off to Pakistan again tomorrow morning to engage in talks, direct talks intermediated by the Pakistanis, who have been incredible friends and mediators throughout this entire process, with representatives from the Iranian delegation.
Caroline Leavitt straight up lied to reporters about meetings Iran had already canceled. This wasn't spin or optimism, it was deliberate disinformation. When your press secretary can't tell basic truth about diplomatic schedules, how can anyone believe bigger claims about negotiations?
So the president is dispatching Steve and Jared to go hear what they have to say. And we're hopeful that it will be a productive conversation and hopefully move the ball forward towards a deal.
The disconnect is staggering. Even as she's promising productive conversations, Iran's foreign minister is literally boarding planes to leave Pakistan without any meetings. This level of delusion or dishonesty makes America look incompetent to every watching government.
You think, there are a lot of people who think that reporters shouldn't even go to the dinner because of everything you just delineated, which is just a small fraction of what President Trump has done in terms of his hostility towards the press. Do you think that we shouldn't be going to the dinner? What's your take on all that?
Perfect transition to media analysis. Trump banned comedians from the Correspondents' Dinner because he can't handle being mocked, right after getting humiliated by Iran. It's all connected. A president so fragile, he cancels comedy shows while America loses respect globally.
Listen, I totally understand going to the dinner as part of the job. Showing face is very important, but I don't think we are obligated to show this administration any respect when they have treated media with maximum malice since Donald Trump entered the U.S. political scene. Every single time he interacts with some journalist in the Oval Office, it is an incredibly combative interaction. The Pentagon is actively removing career journalists and replacing them with MAGA influencers. So I understand showing up. I'm in the industry. It's part of the job to show face, but at the same time, I don't think that we should treat this like it's normal.
The Pentagon replacing career journalists with MAGA influencers is pure authoritarianism. When you can't handle real reporting, you eliminate real reporters. This systematic attack on press access makes covering Trump's failures like today's Iran debacle much harder.
This is not a normal White House Correspondents' Dinner. It should not be treated as such.
Exactly right. Normalizing abnormal behavior got us here in the first place. Trump threatening allies, lying about negotiations, starving troops, then banning comedians isn't normal presidential behavior. Treating it like standard politics enables the destruction of American credibility.
Let me know what you all think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. And thank you all so much for watching.
This reporting proves why independent journalism matters more than ever. They correctly predicted these failed negotiations, while mainstream media repeated White House lies. As America faces real credibility crises abroad, we need outlets willing to challenge official narratives with actual facts.